Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 6 of Swords. Beautiful card, beautiful energy, beautiful mind. I think you're someone with a very clear idea of how to get from here to there, right? We always talk about having the long-term goals, having the vision of the future, right? With that, maybe the Knight of Pentacles will come out today. But I feel like you know where you want to end up in life. Yeah. And I feel maybe unlike most people, you know how to get there. You know the steps to take. Okay? You've kind of got the course plotted to get from here to the accomplishment of those really big time goals of yours. You know, you're somebody who's very organized. I don't think you've always been that way. I think there was a time where you kind of just had like papers all over your desk, you know, but there was some moment where you decided to kind of start getting organized. You start filing things away. You realize that sort of an ordered life is an ordered mind is an ordered life, you know. And so I feel like there was a time where it was just kind of just really spontaneous, sort of haphazard almost. But now I feel like there's a much more organized structure to your life. You know, you might even be someone now who's sort of embracing routine, embracing very positive, healthy, constructive habits in your life. Trying to see how everything sort of fits together and make sure everything that you're doing in your life, every different piece of your life is a part of the beautiful, harmonious whole, right? That everything you're doing is assisting you in some way, however small, however indirect, assisting you getting to your goals, okay? This is a really good energy to start with. Let's see where it's going. We're going to put this into some context. We got a 5 of Pentacles. That makes sense. Because I feel like, for the one thing, on the one hand, this is you making those plans and having that course plotted, and then this is what sort of really happens. You know, when people make plans, that's when the gods laugh, right? So I feel like you're sort of dealing with some variables. You're dealing with some sort of, you know, unexpected changes and things like that, which is right what we would expect. We've got a Knight of Cups underneath, the 5. Ooh, 5 of Swords. Yeah, see, back in the day, you weren't so organized. Now, you've got that 6 of Swords. Now, what we don't want to have happen is that back in the day when you were a little bit more, I don't know, disorganized or a little bit more sort of frenetic, a little bit more sort of spontaneous or haphazard, do you feel like you were better able to handle the variables, the unexpected curveballs of life back here than you were here? So maybe it really is, in a way, about embracing some of this unplanned energy a little bit as well, right? Because I kind of feel like with these changes that are happening in your life, these are all the variables, the unexpecteds, right? The curveballs. I almost wonder, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, that back in the day you feel like in that old energy, you handle these sorts of things better because now you've got this very structured, very kind of specific plan. This doesn't really correlate, right? This doesn't harmonize with that. So, you know, it's just something to keep in mind. Let's keep putting out our cards. We have a Princess of Swords now. So we're kind of learning, we're learning how to deal with these variables again. I think you're learning that this old energy of yours, whatever this 5 of Swords was, again, it feels more spontaneous. Whatever this was, more movement, kind of allowing for more tolerance, more deviation from the central path, that sort of energy is very helpful to you now in dealing with whatever changes, whatever circumstances are happening at the moment, which feel rather unexpected. Now we've got another court card, which is kind of a blending of both of these, right? This is water, this is air. The Queen of Swords is a little bit of water and a little bit of air, right? So it's a nice blending together of the kind of different energies that you possess. Now we have a Two of Wands, a Seven of Cups. Oh, the Hanged Man, but the Hanged Man is reversed. See, the card's upside down. I usually don't read reversals. Somehow that Hanged Man snuck back into my pack upside down. I didn't do it. But we'll leave it reversed because that's how it came out. And because I don't read reversals, it means that I'm not consciously switching my deck back and forth as I'm shuffling, right, to make some of the cards upside down. So to me, when I do get a reversed card, it's much more significant because it's something that I consciously strive to prevent, and it made it through anyway. So I think we really need to pay attention. And it is in the position of the difficulty, too. And finally, we've got the Nine of Swords as the end card there. The Nine of Swords is a scary card. Sometimes we get a little nervous when we see it. But this is really, if we think of the planetary aspects of this is Mars in Gemini, right? And I think Mars has its home in the sign of Leo, right? And Mars feels very, very welcomed in the sign of Leo. And I think that sometimes, this really is about us kind of standing up for ourselves, kind of doing the harsh thing, doing the difficult thing that really needs to be done, having the conversation that really needs to be had. Because with all of these court cards, I feel, and the Seven of Cups here, I feel like you're sort of in a situation now where you need to free yourself from a toxic energy, a toxic person perhaps. And this, I think, is the realization of that and the cutting loose of whatever this energy is. I don't want to say it's a person. I don't want to blame anybody in your life, right? But something in your environment is a little bit of this quicksand. It's a little bit kind of toxic energy for you, okay? And I don't know exactly who it is. It may not be a particular person. It could just be anything really that we're sort of clinging to, that we're attached to, or that we feel weighed down by. See, the Hanged Man very often is a bit of an anchor. So he kind of looks like an anchor when it's the usual direction. But upside down, it feels like that anchor is now turning into kind of a catapult that is not keeping us down, but it's like you're slingshotting up to your future, right? And especially, if we think of it as we're kind of slingshotting out of this swampy, mud, toxic Seven of Cups, we're not sinking further down into it. It's like we're being pulled back with that rubber band, and then we're just, we're being flung forward. So I think that this situation in your life right now, it's really a blessing in disguise. I think this is your lucky break, even though it may not feel like it. And I kind of say that with a little bit of a pun, right? Because I'm thinking of a break. I'm thinking that you're dealing with someone or something in your life that is kind of weighing you down, holding you back from getting your goals. And it could be a way of life. It could be a habit of thought. It could be, it could be your organized planning nature itself, right? That's sort of holding you back from dealing with the current circumstances in a more sort of spontaneous and organic way, right? But I do feel like it is very lucky for you to break with whatever this energy is that seems to be holding you back. Now let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card before we get into each of these cards individually. Now this is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to put it down underneath Kevin, aka Mr. Bates. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. Okay, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise. It's always a good idea to practice your intuition any chance you get, all right? Let's take a look around the room now. Major arcana energies, do we have any? Yes, we've got the Hanged Man reversed. Interesting. You're seeing something in a new way. I think when we're able to take ourselves up out of this Seven of Cups, we're really seeing it for what it is. And then we can kind of make that conscious, difficult decision to make that lucky break, right? And of course, the Queen of Swords here is all about getting that higher perspective. And that's very necessary for us to get through all of the rest of this energy. So we've got our major arcana energy. That's the central focus. This is the spiritual work that you need to do right now. We've got fire. We've got some water. We've got a lot of air cards, 5 air cards. Okay. And the air cards, I think, is, in some ways, it's the nature of this relationship that's sort of confusing you. I don't know if somebody's giving you mixed signals. We've got the water energy with the Knight of Cups underneath everything. And this is your giving and receiving of love. This is a card that asks the question, are you giving and receiving love? What is the nature of your your intimate life with people? It doesn't have to be romance, but it could be. It could be that you're in a toxic relationship. It could be that you're in a partnership that is sort of giving you mixed signals, that's pulling you one way or the other, or that is very imbalanced, that you're giving, and there's nothing coming back in. Okay? This is a card that is asking you to examine how you are expressing love and affection, and are you feeling it? Are you getting it back from the people that you would expect to get it from? Okay? And then, of course, with all of this air energy, I sort of feel as if you have these very specific plans for your life, but then we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Maybe the 5 of Pentacles is somebody in your life, and I do feel that we're talking about a person here, okay? And I don't know who it is. You do, though. You know who it is. Because it's somebody who seems like they're making decisions or making choices, or they're doing things that seem to be setting you back. Or it's almost like they'll subtly or even unintentionally maybe put an obstacle in your way. See, this is the 5 of Pentacles. It's earth energy. It's kind of like they're making decisions that sort of block your movement. And you just say, why would you do that? You know? Because you have this very specific way of going forward that you want to go. You see the path before you. But then an obstacle shows up. You know, somebody, doesn't charge your phone overnight. You wake up in the morning and your phone's dead. And now it's just like, well, I got to charge the phone before I can go to work and do all this stuff or whatever. It's like somebody that it almost feels like sabotage. Okay, I think it almost, and maybe this is part of this 5 and 6 sort of energy that we're getting. We're not sure if it's sabotage or if it's just honest mistakes. It could be somebody at work, I guess. Why do they seem to always be putting something in my way? You know, it's like they see you riding your bike down the road and they just happen to open their car door right as you're trying to pass, right? And this actually happened to my grandpa. He was actually the one opening the car door, not the one on the bicycle. Unfortunately, it was, everybody was okay, but you kind of wonder, did they open the door because they knew the bicycle was coming? Now, I don't think my grandpa did that, but you never know, right? My grandpa's turning in his grave right now as I'm talking about this. But it's that sort of thing. And I was a kid. I was like 13 years old. I was like, did he do that on purpose? He did not. There's no way. He was he was an interesting character, but he had a very, very generous heart. He really did. And his name was Leo, by the way, too. Anyway, you start to wonder if somebody is putting obstacles in front of you on purpose, or it just kind of happens to work out that way. And of course, our mind and your mind with the 5 and the 6 of Swords starts to think that there's some sort of pattern here. Starting to make connections, right? We're just not sure what it really amounts to. Okay? And with the we talked about the Knight of Cups a little bit underneath everything. This is sort of, I believe you feel as if you've been very giving, very caring, very loving, very supportive of this life, of this world, of people in general. You know, you're somebody who is very generous with your love and affection, with your care, your concern. So we start to wonder, why would somebody sabotage me? You know, why would this person do this? Why? It can't be right. But I think the more we ask this question about how you're giving and receiving love, I wonder if this particular and again, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. If this particular person has never really shown you the kind of care or concern or empathy or compassion that you've always been showing, I wonder if you are sort of starting to realize that, yeah, this is kind of a one-way street here, that there's really nothing coming back from this person, and maybe there's always been a little bit of some kind of a disconnect. Yeah. And that takes us, of course, back to this the Five of Swords here, which I think that, maybe back in the day when you had this sort of less structured plan, right? You didn't really see the patterns. You wouldn't have noticed that this seems to keep happening because you're in this kind of spontaneous, just adapting to the situation as it comes. You're kind of making the path as you go. And so, there's an obstacle, I'm going to go around this way, another obstacle, I'm going to go around this way, and you're weaving your way through. And so all of these obstacles that kind of present themselves, it seems like they're just kind of random and spontaneous, and that's fine, right? But now in this Six of Swords energy, since we have a very specific path, very specific route that we take, or want to take, and it seems like there's an obstacle at every turn, it can't be coincidence now. You see? You see the difference there? And so with our Princess of Swords, we start to wonder, what the heck is going on here? Yeah. And I think this is maybe you trying to figure out, does this person mean to sabotage your progress or what you're doing? Or is there something else going on? Is there some kind of misunderstanding? Is it a misperception on your part? Like, we're asking the questions now. Okay. And especially we're asking the questions with the Knight of Cups too. But in the future position, the way forward here is perhaps, not to kind of, just trust and just to keep on, keep being the kind of person that you want everybody else to be, keep being giving and generous and compassionate, nor is it to just continue being suspicious of everything and really kind of, looking at everything from the corner of your eye. The method is a little bit of both. It's kind of saying, get the higher perspective. Rise above everything that's sort of happening. Try to get that bird's eye view. Look back at the bigger picture. And even in a way where you can sort of see the last 6 months, and you can see what's happening now. You can see the next 6 months. And you'll see if there's some sort of a pattern here. You'll see if there's something significant going on, or if it's just kind of all in your imagination, right? But we've got to get out of away from the thoughts and feelings of things. Okay? And this card is really kind of about rising up and getting to that higher discernment. We're not trying to really gather evidence and investigate in that way, nor are we just kind of trying to ignore it and just be that loving and giving and generous person. We're trying to kind of take a time out here and rise up and look at things differently. Yeah. That brings us over to the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It does not cost anything. And it supports the channel. I really appreciate that. We need all the support that we can get. Okay. Two of Wands as your general energy. Getting this higher perspective, I think, makes you come to a very particular realization. And now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. The tarot's not going to tell you what to do. Spirit isn't going to tell you what to do, but we can show you the course of energy. Okay? We can show you the energy as it is now and the trend toward which all of this energy is going. Okay? I do feel like you had a minor accident recently. Spirit's showing me some broken glass, and there's something that I don't know if you broke a window or something kind of broke and shattered, but there's glass on the ground or on the floor. I don't know if you like dropped I don't know, maybe a plate or something, but it feels like a window pane or something, or maybe from a coffee table. Anyway, the Two of Wands is a definite decision. This is kind of taking matters in your hand and saying, I need to continue going forward in my life. And whatever the reason for these setbacks, it seems like this other person is always involved, intentionally or not. It's creating kind of it's creating that Seven of Cups environment for you. Okay. And the Seven of Cups is kind of that swamp, kind of that quicksand. Whether it's intentional or not, this feels like there is some sort of disconnect, some sort of incompatibility between you and this other person. They could be a coworker, they could be a family member, a friend, they could be a romantic partner. Whatever it is, it feels like whenever something goes wrong, they're kind of always there saying, oops, right? So the Two of Wands is some martial energy, right? There's Mars here, just like there's Mars in that Nine of Swords. That we're kind of realizing that it's going to take an effort of will. It's going to take a lot of sort of confidence and courage on your part to get through this, to make a particular change, to somehow disconnect yourself, to make that lucky break, right, from this toxic energy, because intentional or not, I feel like it is holding you down. It's kind of like it's got that suction on your foot when you're trying to pull it out of the mud, you know? And the Hanged Man kind of shows our choice here. The Hanged Man in a normal position could be sinking right down into that swamp. Right? That's gone. We're just sinking right into this. And I think your plans, the things that you want to accomplish over here, I feel like we're succumbing to all of these obstacles and what could be sabotage. And that's it. This is where it stays, you know? But I think because we have this Two of Wands. Now, this is the only really fiery energy we have in the reading. Everything is kind of dark and blue and purple and dark greens and blues and greens. This is the only fiery red-orange, and even this is that fiery red-orange. Okay? So I feel like this is sort of the initiative that you take. And the Hanged Man, instead of sinking down as that anchor, is springing forward from this. It's kind of like cutting the tie with this person really allows you to really take off. It feels like someone's got one of those slingshots, you know, and something's been holding you back and holding you back. And if that energy can let go, I think that you're just kind of sailing toward your goal at an astronomical speed. Okay? And that's the Hanged Man really rising above this situation, rising out of this situation in an attitude of victory. See, the Hanged Man is in that attitude of victory, not in that attitude of suffering and loss and kind of surrender, but not surrendering, not giving into this toxic, swampy, muddy, quicksand kind of energy. Okay? And I don't know who this person is. I feel like there's been some kind of gossip or rumors going on in your life. I don't know if there's other family members or people at work, things going on. I feel like you've just been hearing things, you know? And I think you don't really know what to make of it most of the time, but I think it's becoming clear. Okay. The Nine of Swords, you know, it's a card of cruelty. It's a card of wrath. It's a card of really poisonous speech, you know? And in some ways, I feel like this is the recognition of the bars on our cage. This is the recognition of what has been kind of slowly pulling you down, right? Slowly poisoning your energy. It's the recognition of that. And with the Two of Wands, it's the intentional breaking away from that toxic energy, okay? The Nine of Swords, not a good card. We don't want this. Sometimes we need it. Sometimes this is a wake-up call for ourselves. Sometimes this is us really being snapped out of a dream right, to reality, to like, hey, wake up, look what's really going on, okay? Look what has been holding you back from accomplishing your goals, your dreams, your will, your aspirations. And we even look at the Knight of Cups down here beneath the surface. This is some energy that wants to get out, but it's stuffed down here underneath everything. It's being weighed down. So I feel like even in your life, you've been noticing that you've been a little bit less giving, a little bit less like affectionate, and maybe even a little bit less patient with people. Because of the stress of this situation, it's been affecting you and how you relate to other people in your life. I think that this has been sort of bleeding over into other relationships even. Okay? So the Nine of Swords, it's a card that asks us in a very painful situation to look at the silver lining, to look at the truth of the matter and see the light, see what is good in this situation, see what good can be brought from this. Okay? And I know that's not easy. Okay? Well, let's do a botanical inspiration card, and then we'll look at the mystery card. I don't like ending on kind of a sour note like the Nine of Swords, but there is power there. Okay? And I feel with Mars in Gemini, we're making a split here. Yeah? But we'll see with a botanical inspiration, we'll get a little bit of light, a little bit of clarity. Faithfulness and modesty with the violet here, if I can pick the card up. Very beautiful card, and it says, faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. Modesty, right? So I feel like this is not something that you want to do. This is not an issue that you want to have to confront. You don't want to believe this, and of course you're taking no pleasure in this, but it's something that you sort of have to do for your mind to receive knowledge and your heart to receive truth, right? In order to really to get further upon your path, to reach your goals, and to manifest the beauty and the truth and the knowledge and the future that you want, I think this is a necessary thing. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I want to see another major arcana. I want to see an Empress. I want to see maybe not your power card, maybe not the strength card, because I feel like we got that already, I want to see something, maybe some cups, maybe some good water energy, 9 or a 10 of cups, a 6 of cups would be good. But I want some major arcana, either Wheel of Fortune or Empress. Yeah, I think just those two, yeah. Put your prediction down in the comments. Here we go. It's the Wheel of Fortune. I think that this really truly is your lucky break. And I know I say that as a pun, but I believe it's true. I believe this is your opportunity to really it's kind of like, we could be continuing on this path in this way with this struggle and this sort of just this disconnect and this discord. We could be continuing on and on and on like this for a long time. That'd be terrible. So it kind of is a lucky break that you're seeing things for what they are and you're really getting this glimpse into, okay, this is the situation, this is what I got to do. So I think that this really is allowing you to sort of slingshot into your great good fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is very expansive, it's very lucrative, it's very successful, right? This is kind of saying that, hey, it's time. It's your time now. This literally is that lucky break, that things are happening now, but we've got to disconnect from this. This is kind of what's pulling you back. And we've got to be able to kind of cut ourselves off from that so that you could take advantage of all the opportunities that are opening up for you. Yeah. This is really a wonderful, perfect confirmation. And I think it's an unfortunate situation, but it is one that intentional or not, right? And that's why I think there's the idea of modesty with the violet there, the botanical inspiration card. There's that idea of modesty because we have no way of knowing the intention of this other person or the other entity, right? We don't know what they're thinking or what they're doing or what their intentions are, what their plans are. We just know that their energy is holding us back from achieving the goals that we need to achieve. So it's kind of like there's no hard feelings, but this is, clean break kind of thing. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Leo are on Tuesdays and Saturdays. All right, be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.